Did you miss me?
I remember you.
What's going on, y'all?
What's up, S.A.?
What's up, doggy? What's going on, baby? Did you miss me?
Not really, but here you are.
I'm on vacation.
He misses you dearly.
No, please.
Trust me,
I'm
he
on
misses you.
vacation still, and I came off vacation, and I said, yo, I'm going to be in studio. I'm going to be on the camera live for my boy, Doggy. I'm here. I'm here, Doggy.
I love you so much. Where are you, by the way? No more beaches, I hope. Where are you this time?
No.
Where's the carrot juice? Where are you?
Wait till you
And
see
the
your
protein
brother.
rice.
Wait till you see your brother. That's all I'm going to say. Wait till you see.
Oh, my God.
It's all right, you know? It's all right.
I know.
It's all right.
His
Wait.
bet. All right.
Try a chin up.
Wait.
Go ahead.
All right, let's go. Mad Dog, should the Sixers want Harden back?
Absolutely not. I mean, this guy is poison. Now, listen, Morey's not Red Auerbach. He's no big-time GM. His reputation precedes him. He's never gotten to a championship final, NBA final. He's very overrated. But the idea that James Harden now is going to be dictating, this is a guy who got himself out of Houston. He ate himself out. He didn't want to be there. He got himself out of Brooklyn because he got sick of that situation, was in Vegas when they were getting ready for games, and now he wants out of Philly. If anybody wants Harden on their team, they're absolutely crazy. He is a poison pill. The idea that he is some big-time NBA player is a myth. They compare him to Jerry West and Kobe Bryant. You need your head examined. The way they play with him pounding the basketball is very difficult to watch. And he's one of those guys who plays well one game, like he did last year against Boston in the postseason, and then comes back the next game and does absolutely nothing. To me there, Stevie, I wouldn't want him anywhere near me if I was a professional organization, because he is not a winner. I feel very strongly about that. He is not a winner.
Well, my retort to that would be, first of all, there's a whole bunch of people in the NBA getting paid that ain't winners. So let's get that out of the way first. That's not a great argument, because
yes, it's a very good argument,
there's nowhere you can look at in the NBA where, you can't find an abundance of players on a team that just ain't winners. And we understand that. What I would say to you is this, and this is not to, I disagree with you to some degree, Doggy, but this is not to support James Harden, because his position shouldn't necessarily be supported once you take everything into consideration. He's a 3-time league scoring champion. He's led the league in assists twice. He's coming off a season. We're saying this is a relatively bad season because he averaged 21 points. But I would remind you, he averaged 21 points. He led the league in assists with 10.7 a game, okay? So he averaged 21, 10, and 6. He had an all-star caliber season. The 76ers got within one game of a conference finals. So it's not like the brother's a scrub and he can't play. He is a star. Is he a superstar any longer? No, we haven't seen that over the last couple of years, in one part because of injury and obviously because of the teams that he was on and some of the stuff that was going on. We get all of that. Here's what I would tell you, though, Doggy. Let's pay attention. Rather than paying attention to the player, how about paying attention specifically to what he said? What he said is essentially, Daryl Morey is a liar. Now, that is a very, very strong statement to say. He knew that it was going to go viral. The man said it in front of a crowd. He said it with the microphone on and then repeated it. And so what happens is now we have to take into account some of the things that players are saying about some of these executives. They tell the players one thing, they tell the public another. And when that argument is what's being made, we got to take that into consideration. I'm a man, you're a man, Doggy. If somebody says something, we sign a contract, we're going to honor it. And we understand that premise. And we definitely, we're averse to people who want to go against honoring their contractual obligations.
Steve.
Yes.
Did Harden honor his Houston commitment?
No, that's my point.
So now we're supposed to make a big deal about Morey when Harden didn't even honor his commitment with the Rockets.
I understand that, but what I'm saying to you is that it's a bigger picture, because you've got players on numerous occasions that are alluding to being lied upon. And you have general managers who obviously have the voice of the public, because they'll sit up there and leak information. They'll do whatever it is that they do, and the players know it's to their benefit to be quiet. James Harden said, bump that. I'm not going to be quiet. Daryl Morey's a liar. Now, take this into consideration. It's not like you're talking about somebody you didn't know. James Harden was in Houston for 8 or 9 years. That's when he led the league in scoring 3 times. That's when he went 5 consecutive seasons, averaging 29 points or better per game. He averaged a minimum of 27 a game for 7 years of his 9 years in Houston, playing under Daryl Morey. Daryl Morey did everything but gave him weekly or daily massages, for crying out loud. When you hear about the treatment that James Harden received in Houston, he was pacified by Daryl Morey for years. Daryl Morey leaves abruptly from Houston, ends up landing in Philly. Tillman Fertitta and them, they don't want to trade James Harden to Philadelphia. That's why he had to end up going to Brooklyn. He wanted to go to Philadelphia because he wanted to go with Daryl Morey. So they're tight. And then all of a sudden, he's saying the man lied. So I get it. I don't think that James Harden, listen, I saw him in Game 6 when you had an opportunity to close out Boston and you shot 25% from the field and only scored 12 points. I saw him in that damn Game 7 blowout at TD Bank Garden where he only scored 9 points. It was a horrific performance. And, of course, you can't come asking for max dollars after that because the city of Philadelphia wouldn't allow Daryl Morey to do that. And that's something that Harden should take into consideration. But in the end, if that man is pointing to being lied to, that speaks to me to a bigger issue that I've heard numerous players say about numerous executives, and I don't think that should be ignored.
He bailed out on Houston. He bailed. He gained weight. He made Silas's job down there a mess. And then he goes to Brooklyn, and the show is displeasure with the Nets. He's in Vegas when they get ready for ball games. And now he's got a problem here in Philadelphia. When is enough? And you just brought up a couple of games in postseason play with Harden. How about last year against Miami when he stunk? Did we look into that? How about whatever he was, 2 for 24 against Golden State in Game 7? Did we forget that? How about in Game 6 against San Antonio one year when the team scored 70-something points? He has never responded with the chips on the line. So any team out there that wants to bring him in, you are making a horrific mistake. He is not you can talk about your scoring titles and your assist titles all you want. You are better than that because in a big game, you would never want Harden on your team. In a million years, with your life on the line, Stevie A, you would not want Harden on your ball club.
Hell no.
You know
You're
that.
absolutely right. You're absolutely right. There's no argument there. But again, doggy, I'm talking about the personal relationship between those two because everything that you said, the one person he never did that to was Daryl Morey. He wanted to go wherever Daryl Morey was. Daryl Morey was in Philadelphia, and everybody and their grandmama knew that when you were talking about the Ben Simmons deal, he was trying to get James Harden. There was nobody else in consideration. Daryl Morey wanted James Harden in Philadelphia. Daryl Morey wanted James Harden in Houston. James Harden wanted Dwight Howard. Then he did it. He wanted Chris Paul. Then he did it. He wanted Russell Westbrook. Then he did it. I mean, he's going back and forth. Mike D'Antoni was the coach. They didn't even show videos and film of James Harden having bad plays because that's how much he was pacified by Daryl Morey. So what I'm saying is if they had this relationship, it's one thing with Harden, and I don't disagree with you one bit with what you're saying. What I'm saying is where the light bulb goes off in my head, he didn't say this about just anybody. He said it about Daryl Morey. He said it about Sean Marks. He said it about Daryl Morey. And so for him to say that and to turn on Daryl Morey like that, I'm looking at Daryl Morey and I'm saying the stuff about James Harden is obvious. What about you, bro? Because as you pointed out, Dougie, I mean, this is not a Jerry West or a Red Auerbach or somebody that we're talking about. Daryl Morey has been an executive in the NBA, a lead executive for the better part of 15 years. Okay, and obviously he's been associated with the NBA longer than that. But I'm just talking about on his perch, in that position, 15 plus years. He doesn't even have a single NBA Finals appearance to show for that. So I'm looking at Daryl Morey and I'm saying, yo, why would James Harden say that about you? You must have made him promises.
Well, that promise had to be a trade, right, Steve? That promise must have been,
I think the promise
is money.
is lesser
contract, get me out of here, I want to go to the Clippers, and they couldn't put together a deal. Is that the reason? Is that the problem?
No, I don't think that would be the reason because if you're trying to make a move and you're unsuccessful trying to make that move, you're going to continue to try to work it out. I think what the issue is that James Harden was expecting to get money. He was expecting to get paid close to, if not max dollars. And obviously, there was promises made that were
How
not
much
kept.
money does he want to make, Steven? This
Stop,
is a guy
Cappy.
who's
Hold
made
on,
billions of dollars.
Stop it.
And how about
Hey,
winning?
excuse me.
How
Excuse
about
me.
winning once in a
Excuse me.
while?
I agree with that, but nobody's counting your money. Stop counting other people's money. Stop that.
But
Stop that.
I
You stop that right now.
you
You stop that right now.
On High
Stop that right
Sirius
now.
and
Stop counting
ESPN
other
and the
people's
MLB
money.
Network every 5 minutes because they don't get paid enough. You sign the contract, live up to it. How
Hold on,
about winning once in a while?
Hold on.
How about a championship?
Hold on. Wait a minute.
How about a championship?
Wait a minute. He's getting paid. He's on the books to get $35 million for this upcoming
Jesus,
season.
enough.
Okay? Hold on. He's on the books to get $35 million. Now, I appreciate that money now. I wouldn't sneeze at that money, neither would you. But if you promised me 175 to 200 million, and all I got is 35,
I'll live
now
with
we
it.
got a problem.
I'll
now
live
you got
with
a
it,
problem.
Steve.
If you
I'll
promised
live
me
with it,
that.
and you would live with it. I would live with
What?
it, and you would live with it. The
Hold it, wait a
idea
minute.
for Harden, Steve, for Harden, it's not about how much money he makes. You know what it is about for a guy like Harden, who you claim is the greatest thing since sliced bread? Some rings. How about some rings? That should be his main concern.
I would not
I got to
have
win some championships.
Time out.
That's his concern.
Time out.
Not how much money he's making.
But here's what you're missing. I would not have paid him max dollars either. But he would have known that last summer. I wouldn't have promised him a damn thing. I'd been like, man, have you seen yourself have you seen your playoff performances? Have you seen how many times you disappeared? You better get the hell out of my face. Come in with some damn guarantee. You're going to take this money. I'll give you this. But I ain't promising you that. That is what I would have done. If Daryl Morey made a promise, I know plenty of executives who made a promise and had to keep it. You know it too when you was doing radio in New York and the Knicks gave Allen Houston $100 million because they promised him they would.
Guys.